Welcome back, you guys. Sometimes in life, you encounter some information that you just have to share. I mean, especially if it benefits others. I'm not one of those guys who tries to profit or make money off of that kind of stuff, and especially when it comes to plants and gardening. And so I have to share with you the secret to getting very productive blossoms and blooms on your either fruiting or flowering bonsai. Okay, so last year I made a short video about this plant right here. Now it's called a comfrey plant, and sometimes known as Russian comfrey, but this plant is known as a chop and drop green fertilizer plant. So what it does is it taps its roots really deep into the soil, pulls out all the good nutrients that then gets pushed into the leaves. So what folks have been doing for years in regular gardening is that they've just grown this by, in particular garden they chop it and they leave a pile of this right next to the tree and just kind of let it decompose and fertilize the tree naturally. But you can also make comfrey tea, and I'll let you watch that video if you haven't seen it already. It's only 30 seconds long, or maybe a minute. So let's watch that video of the comfrey tea that I made last year. So let's check it out. In this video, I'm going to tell you about what this plant is and why you could potentially benefit from growing it in your garden. All right, so I collected a bunch of comfrey here that was growing out in the far parts of the garden. I'm going to chop it up and add it to this bucket of water. All right, we're going to let the comfrey sit in this water for a couple weeks, let it ferment, stink it up a little bit. Here's the comfrey tea about a week later. It doesn't smell yet. You can see how dark and brown that is. So I have the comfrey concentrate here. This solution here will get all these plants ready for the fall. High in phosphate, high in potassium, which helps it develop a stronger root system and give it better defense for the cold. Easy peasy. By the time this is ready, the comfrey has already grown back again. So it's very, very perpetual in its growth, and it'll keep on going. Even if you have this tiniest little root, it'll continue to grow. Okay, so I hope that was somewhat informative, but anyway, so the idea behind the video is really to show another way of fertilizing your trees, especially fruiting trees and blooming trees. Okay, so check this out. Last year, I showed you this video about how to use comfrey and brew it into a tea and then use it on your trees in the fall time frame. Now that's supposed to improve the root system, also gives it the potassium and phosphates needed to one, grow better roots, two, actually develop better flowers or more flowers and more fruit. So I went to town last fall on all of my fruiting trees, including this crab apple, as well as the sand cherry and almost everything I had actually. So I sprayed it all down with that comfrey tea. This tree gave me maybe about a dozen flowers last year. This year, it's completely loaded. Every single branch is just loaded with these beautiful pink white flowers that will develop eventually into little crab apples. Now the sand cherry last year, it flowers every single year. This year though, it is just packed with flowers. You got it radiating 360 degrees on this thing. The azaleas are looking like they're going to be in full bloom as far as, flowers all over the canopy of the tree. I've got others that have developed flowers that look amazing. I mean, they are just completely packed with flowers. Let's say you wanted your azalea, or you wanted your crab apple, or your princess persimmon, for that matter, to have more fruit on it. You would fertilize those trees with the comfrey tea the fall before or the year before, so that it has the energy built up through the wintertime to be more productive with its flowers and its fruits. And so, this is kind of like a tool, right? It's like setting the tree up so that it has success for whatever you're trying to achieve the next year. Now, comfrey tea isn't a nitrogen type of fertilizer. It's potassium and phosphate. And so don't expect trees to be going super green or getting, you know, a lot of vegetative growth. It's for producing flowers. It's for producing fruit. And so that's what it's mainly used for. All right, here is some more results of the Comfrey Tea working. This is my Rubinet apple. It's a short season Fuji apple, or Fuji variety type of apple. And it is just loaded with flowers this year. Beautiful white flowers. Incredible. I mean, and this is my Chinese quince. This is I've never seen as many flowers on this tree as I do this year. This is because I sprayed it down with Comfrey Tea. It is insane. Okay, so check this out. I've had this Princess Persimmon for about 3 years or so, and it's never flowered. Now, after using Comfrey in the fall, look at this. I've got flowers on this tree. This is the first time it's ever done that, and it has to have something to do with the Comfrey Tea. I mean, all of my trees show just a ton of blooms, more flowers than I've seen on previous years, and this tree has never flowered, but now there's a bunch. Awesome. And then look at the results here, and even this little azalea right here is going to be packed with flowers this year. Yeah, anyways, proof's in the pudding. Doesn't cost much to buy Comfrey. I mean, $5 for a little plant and you'll have it forever. And look at this. I mean, if you have fruiting bonsai, fruit trees, or just want to develop a better root system, I totally recommend brewing some Comfrey Tea. And look at this. I mean, I love it. Works for me. Okay, so if you like that video, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share the video amongst your club members or friends or, you know, hobbyists that you know of. It really shows me that you appreciate the content, and I'll continue to make videos that will help the backyard bonsai hobbyists with videos such as these. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that, because there's a ton of more content that I'm working on, and I'll continue to post them and share them as time allows. So I've got some great stuff that's coming up, and so you don't want to miss out on that kind of stuff. Just hit the notification bell, and then you'll get a reminder when those videos pop up. See you next time. Bye.
Hello, Ben. So the question is bonsai art?
Ben? What are you doing inside a tree?
So the question being asked here is bonsai art? And I think for all of us who have done bonsai for a long time, this is a question that has come up in our minds at least once throughout our journey.